From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Friday, December 15th, 2017. Silver is trading at $16.07 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,261 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 7.2 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $17,687. Antiwar.com reports for several years in the Syrian war, a CIA program saw U.S. and Saudi-acquired weapons smuggling into Syria, nominally for the moderate rebels. The program was ultimately scrapped this year and has been criticized because the moderates never amounted to much. But studies from conflict armament research set about to find out what happened to these arms shipments. In many cases, the weapons wound up in the hands of the Islamic State and served as a source for some of their most advanced armament. The biggest source of weapons the Islamic State had was looting the Iraqi and Syrian militaries, though in the case of Iraq, this was basically the same result, as the U.S. provided materially all of the weapons for Iraqi forces as well. The weapons in large measure were made in the European Union, with purchases mostly coming out of Eastern European nations like Bulgaria to try to avoid scrutiny. The CIA made this an incredibly efficient smuggling route, though where the arms ended up after they arrived at the Syrian border appears to have been a big blind spot. Arms not made in the EU came mostly out of Russia and China. Russian arms largely looted from the Syrian military, which used Russia as the primary supplier, while the Saudis at times purchased missiles from China to send to the rebels. This lossage to the Islamic State included some very advanced armaments, including a 9M111B missile, a powerful anti-vehicle missile which the CIA smuggled into Syria in December 2015. By February of the next year, the Islamic State already had at least one such missile. The rapidity of the Islamic State getting such advanced arms out of other rebels was particularly noteworthy, according to researchers, because it suggests there were not many intermediaries between the moderates the U.S. thought they were arming and the Islamic State fighters that were actually getting armed. That Islamists were beneficiaries of U.S. arms smuggling programs was never really in doubt, but the scope of which they were, and that the Islamic State was in particular, is extremely embarrassing for the program and raises questions why the smuggling kept going for so long. When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more. UPI reports Republican senatorial candidate Roy Moore is refusing to concede Tuesday's election and has issued a video statement where he speaks of the nation's declining morality. During the 4-minute video, Moore says abortion, sodomy, and materialism have taken the place of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, adding, "We are indeed in a struggle to preserve our republic, our civilization, and our religion, and to set free a suffering humanity." Moore lost to Democrat Doug Jones on Tuesday in Alabama's tightly contested race. Jones now becomes the state's first Democrat elected to the Senate in a quarter century. Moore said he's still waiting for the official vote count, which includes military and provisional ballots, saying this has been a very close race and we are awaiting certification by the Secretary of State. Alabama Secretary of State John Merrill said it's highly unlikely that Jones will not be the certified winner. For over 40 years, Robertson Roberts brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports a white nationalist accused of killing a 32-year-old woman when he plowed his car into a crowd of counter-protesters in Charlottesville, Virginia in August was charged with first-degree murder on Thursday. James Fields Jr. appeared at Charlottesville District Court for a preliminary hearing, during which a previous charge of second-degree murder was changed to first-degree murder. Fields would face up to life in prison if convicted of first-degree murder, while second-degree murder carries a penalty of 5 to 40 years in prison, according to the Virginia Penal Code. Court officials and the local district attorney were not immediately available for comment. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.